dear audience, welcome again to another episode of My Trainer Hub. We are so excited to have all of you with us. As you all know, our platform is a one-stop center for all your learning and development needs. Every week, we are hosting a different Malaysian trainer to get them to share their personal stories, how they became a trainer, as well as an inspiration they share with their clients and participants, right? And importantly, we also will get them to highlight their signature program as well as to do a sample presentation so that you can better understand the solution they offer and how you can work with them to bring these solutions to your organization. So this week, we are very fortunate to have another Malaysian trainer with us. He's none other than Dr. YKK, which I will get him into the room right now. Hi, Dr. YKK, how are you?
Oh, great. Thanks for inviting me.
All right. So thank you for being here, as well as I know we have some connectivity problem, but hopefully we get resolved as we go along. Maybe we can you can help us to share with the audience some of your background, how you became a trainer and why this is your area of passion. All right. So go ahead, Doctor.
Yeah, it all started during my young days. My father was a very creative guy. He keeps on repairing things, by improvising. So I got that from him. And subsequently, I dismantled watches, electric irons, and so on. And then I got to love this Marvel comics because it's all fantasy and creativity. So Stanley was my hero, and I read a lot of comics regarding especially technology one, Sergeant Fury and so on. So it's very, very exciting. And after that, when I was in school, I loved English literature and I started giving talks. I even wrote to the papers, that time Malay Mail Opinion. I won many, many prizes for my opinions. And from there on, I volunteered to give talks to schools. And from schools, I graduated to giving talks to companies. And finally, I joined Toastmasters Club, where I learned some of my speaking skills. And so here am I today. I am also a great fan of Steve Jobs, because I remember, and in fact, most of my programs are based on his one quote. He says that we must all endeavor to bring in the best that human can offer and bring them into our organization. Because he said, copy is good. He's quoting this Picasso, good artist copy, great artist steal, and we must be shameless in stealing great ideas. So this stuck with me, and I created programs based on this statement.
Wonderful, wonderful. So very interesting, Dr. YKK, your personal story. Maybe before I get you to share your personal signature program, would also like to get to know you better in terms of in your many years of training, what will be one of the best moments you have in your training career? Maybe you can share that incident or the situation. Who was the client and what do you do for them and what was the impact, right?
Well, I don't know whether I should reveal that the client or not.
Maybe not.
That's
maybe
the permission.
Not.
Yeah. The thing is, I did it for a multinational corporation in Malaysia. I did a 2-day workshop for them. And after that, they invited me back to actually facilitate a session to implement what they've learned. And I told them they must bring a diverse personnel with them. For example, the accountant is there, the engineer is there, and so many other people. There were about 15 people there. And during this 3-day session, they came out with a solution using my system. And they said because that time the accountant was there, the engineer, all these people were there. they did an estimate and say that when they implement my system, they will save every year 13 million ringgit every year. So that was something incredible. I still
Amazing,
have that
amazing.
with me. And when I did the training Australia, another one was that this owner of a high-tech company, they do actually a lot of training, a lot of equipment, advanced equipment for the oil industry.
Mm.
And when he took over this company, the previous owner kept everything to himself, kept everything to himself. The staff don't know what is going on, you know. So he have to resuscitate this company. He was doing badly. He bought over. So he called me to do a session with them. And I did with them. Actually, that one, not a very long session, a 1 day session only. And we became friends. And 2 years later, I went back to his company, right? And asked him what happened. Wow, he said, it's fantastic. He told me, you know what happened?
Mm.
During the more than 1 year plus, when I took over the company, there were no new innovations because we survive on innovation. We create new equipment for companies. And most of the directive was taken by the owner because the workers or the staff played a very minimal role. But when I took over, I engaged the staff, and following your system, my company has grown 3 times in
Wow.
2 years. We acquired
Amazing.
2 companies, and now our company, far from losing money, now is making money. You know, we are growing
Amazing.
every year. So these are the 2 companies I have a very deep impression of.
Great, great. So, as usual, we will get you to share with us your signature program, but you take a quick break. So audience, do stay back. We will come back in a short while to get Dr. YKK to share with us his signature program. Okay? Okay, thank you for staying back, and we are back again. My Trainer Hub is the one-stop center that we are showcasing different Malaysian trainers with their signature programs, as well as to get them to sample a presentation of their programs so that you can make better decisions to have your learning and development needs met, right? So we invite you to actually interact with all our trainers, and if you want to talk to any of them, especially our guest today, Dr. YKK, just drop a comment below and we'll get him to respond to you. So I'll get Dr. YKK back in the room to just share with us his signature program, all right? So Dr. YKK, maybe you can tell us, maybe start with, why do you call yourself the Chief Mind Unzipper, and what is your signature program that you want to share with our audience today?
Well, my name is Yu Kam Keong. People mispronounce it, misspell it most of the time. So I decided to shorten my name to YKK, my initials. And YKK happens to be the greatest and best known, most popular zip company in the world. But my job is not to unzip clothes, right? My job is to unzip minds. So I call myself the Chief Mind Unzipper. And it's very easy to remember me because when I introduce myself this way, creative way, people who haven't met me for over 20 years remembered once I tell my name is Dr. YKK. Now, is this, I call myself the Chief Mind Unzipper, and I introduce myself this way. YKK unzips your mind to make your mind bloom with creativity. So YKK is my name, and Mind Bloom is my company's name.
I see.
So I introduce my name and my company's name at the same time.
Great. So what is your signature program that you have lined up for us, and later we'll do a short demo of that, if you can quickly introduce to our audience?
Well, before I do my signature program, let me introduce my sort of signature approach to programs. To me, the most important thing is simplicity and practicality, and can be implemented easily. Right? No points going for a seminar and training, and you say, "Wow, that's fantastic. The speaker was fantastic," but in the end, you can't implement anything, or you forgot how to implement anything. So I have designed all my programs to be very implementable. That's why I told you the two success stories.
Mm.
The thing is that uh, I have the simplest method, and I do this by leveraging on the internet.
Okay.
Because my basic philosophy, based on what Steve Jobs has said, he said that good artists copy, great artists steal, and he said that Apple is shameless in stealing great ideas, not any idea, but great ideas.
Mm.
So I use the same approach, and I develop a program that copies ideas from other people. All right, because my philosophy is this: whatever problem we have, someone somewhere in the world has resolved that problem.
Yeah.
And all that we need is to find that answer and then modify that answer to our problem.
Right.
All right. So that is the approach, because instead of doing a lot of research, you utilize people's research,
Yeah.
right? And that
Data analysis, they call it, right?
yeah, and through this way, it minimizes risk, it saves time, and it saves a lot of work. And you have a proven solution, so the chance of success is much higher. All right. So what I have, I call it, which I've registered, is the copycat innovation.
Mm.
But subsequently, I did a lot of study and on this, because I have to get validation from this.
Yeah.
And I got validation through uh, this Steve Jobs is one of my first validation. And then there are many, many books on this as well. And also, finally, I got this, one of the greatest, in fact, he was probably the first one to use a systematic approach to innovation,
Mm.
right? So it is called TRIZ, T-R-I-Z, the inventive approach to uh, innovation, right? Designed by a Russian guy. And he said, based on his research, he studied probably 100,000 patents and see a trend there. Because he told, from the statistics, 80% of all problems have already been solved. Right? There are only about less than 20% where you need actually research and get the solution. So he developed a 39 times 39 matrix where you have the solution you want and the problems you will face. But that I understand. I've attended a course here. It's available in Malaysia. It's very good, the TRIZ course, but it's a very complex undertaking. So a group of scientists studied the system and modified to call SIT, right? The scientific inventive technique, right? Which is so much simpler. And they advocate thinking inside the box and copy answers from elsewhere.
I see.
All right. So I have developed this system. And I simplify this even further so that I can relate to this. I call it the method of innovation.
I see.
Yeah,
And this is the one that you will be sharing with our audience today. Maybe you can
that's right.
get into the crux of this program, how it's structured like, and what are the key features before we get you to sample the presentation of a module, a short module rather.
Yeah, I think this is the simplest possible method because all of us studied mathematics in school, isn't it? Not even mathematics, arithmetic. There are only 4 plus minus, right? Multiplication and division, and the equal sign. So just by using these 5, what I call that symbols of arithmetic, you can actually create great innovation. And today, in our uncertainty of business with the COVID-19 and so on, the most important consideration is how to do more with less, isn't it? It's not about doing more, it's about doing less, but you have to achieve much more. And precisely this system allows you to do that. And it's very, very, very simple. Everyone can learn it in a short while, and you can practice it straight away, actually, even during the class itself.
Okay. So stay back. In a short while, we will get Dr. YKK to do his demonstration. We will be right back. All right. Yeah. All right, welcome back, dear audience. We are here to get Dr. YKK to do his demo on his arithmetic method of innovation, which he will sample a short demonstration of a module, which is his signature program. And yeah, let me just quickly get him back into the room. And yes, let me open your slides, Doctor. Right, it's all yours, Dr. YKK.
Okay. Now, this to me, I chose this because this method, especially this particular minus symbol, is the most appropriate for this COVID-19 crisis for businesses. So it provides a method of how to innovate fast and simple using the arithmetic method and to reap your rewards during this crisis. How do you do that? I mean, all of us know this, isn't it? And adding is not a problem. You look at your phone now, there are probably over 100, more than 100 or even thousands of features in your phone. You keep on adding. So adding is the simplest, right? But subtracting is the most complicated. Now, when in this minus method, it's not about simply taking off a button or one part of your what you're doing, but actually removing the most critical part of whatever. Let's say, let's make it easier to look at equipment, all right? Look at your equipment. Can you take up the most critical part and innovate? Do you think it's possible? Right, let's take a look at the next slide. So basically, the key principles of this, no, go back to the next one, last one. Okay, the key principles is that number one is improvisation. Okay, go back to the last one. Yeah, improvisation. And using what is available. And there's a very simple example. For example, your car gets stuck in the mud. How would you get out of that situation, right? Using what is available in the car. So what is available in the car? The floor mat, isn't it? You just put a floor mat under your tires, and then you can drive out. So this is about improvisation, the simplest. And the second principle is that function follows form. This is against the architects usually talk about form follow function, right? But you get the function first and then you create the form. Now, basically, this is a very, very simple method because if I were to ask you to invent something new, you're thinking about how it look like and all those things. After that, what does it do and so on. And it's a very headache. And most of our brain are shut off when you take the form follow function approach. Now, in function follows form, it is much more fun and you can have fun with it. For example, look at the old mobile phone. And what does it have? You have keypad, isn't it, to key in your numbers where you want to dial. What happens? Can you take away the keypad? All right. So just like in camera too, can you take away the film? And because of that, you have the smartphone, right? You look at the smartphone, they don't have any keypads at all, right? So it is possible. And at home, you keep on creating things. You can create things. You look around. Actually, there are a lot of things where you take things away rather than adding things, right? Of course, there is also there are many methods. You can see that it is equal, plus, minus, subtract, and so on. So let me show you the most useful technique under this present COVID-19 circumstances. Okay, go to the next slide. Yeah, this is just one example of the minus system, right, in this arithmetic method. Well, when you boil a pot of soup, what is the most critical component? It is the water, isn't it? Without water, you cannot even call it a soup, isn't it? So what happens, you take away the soup, the water from the soup and make it a very sticky glue sort of thing. You have Campbell soup, isn't it? I mean, canned soup. You just pour in, add water, boil it, and you get the soup. But can you even simplify it even more? What about a soup totally without any water? You take away the can, you take away the water. Can you do it? Can you make a soup, sell soup without a can, without water? And the answer is you can dehydrate the soup and put inside a packet, a sachet. So it is possible, and it's much more convenient, and most likely it's even cheaper to buy because you have to do the additional work. So this is one example of the minus approach. Now look around you. Can you think of any item in your house that your thing in the house, equipment in the house that utilizes this principle? Can you? How about your air conditioner? Well, in the old days, the air conditioner comes with a compressor because the compressor is the most critical part of the air conditioner, isn't it? Can you take the compressor away from the aircon? Right, so you don't have to make a big hole in your room. The answer is yes. So what you do is you split the compressor and the blower. So today you split aircon. Well, your compressor outside your house doesn't need a big hole. But all those who are in the older generation, the senior citizens especially, know that you need a big hole to install the air conditioner. But no more nowadays. So that is the thing. And same thing with fridge actually. For commercial fridge now, they put a compressor outside and they have drawers and many compartments where you can refrigerate without the compressor. So these are the things that we think about. And there are many things that can use this technique in your business. Look at your business. Can you take things away from your business that you're doing? Well, what is a very essential part of your business? Accounting, isn't it? Right?
Yep.
Can you take the accounting department away from your business?
Yes, it's called outsource, I think.
Yes, it's called outsourcing. Yeah, you got it. So now a lot of businesses are outsourcing, right? Even those dim sum and all that, their factory produce it and they bring it there. So you don't even need to cook actually, right? Like a lot of dim sum shop, restaurants, they just get it from the factory. So examine your business. What is one component you can do away with, right? For example, now many companies are they don't use operators anymore to answer phones. They use chatbot, right? Are using artificial intelligence, AI. So all this can cut your costs and makes it more efficient. Another one very famous I just read about is the Boeing Dreamliner 787. For the first time, they outsourced that, I think about probably 40% of the plane to all the contractors in a different way. They have to invest in the research. For example, the wings, they outsource it to Japan, and they have to build it. Of course, it's all centrally controlled by Boeing. To that, they have the best technology because you get tapping the best of each company, and they cut down the cost, they cut down the time, and the plane is a fantastic plane, right? The Dreamliner 787. So these are the things that you should consider in business. If you need any help with this one, feel free to contact me.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. YKK, and we have come to the end of the show. We hope to see all of you again next week in another episode of My Trainer Hub, where we will host another Malaysian trainer. So with that, thank you and bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Production.